Gauri Kumara Chandanachi Oti Kumkum Keshera Ire Jalita Mukuta Shobha Tobara Yunjuntino Pure Charani Gagaria Jai Deva Jai Mangala Murti Darshan Matre Manaka Mana Purti Jai Deva Jai Mangala Murti Darshan Matre Manaka Mana Purti
Sukhakarta Dukhaharta Varna Vinyachi Nirvipurvi Prem Krupa Jayachi Sarvangi Sundaro Vishendurachi Karti Chakema Mukta Phalanchi
Pratna Kachita Fara Tuza Gauri Kumara Chandanachi Oti Kumkum Keshera Ire Jalita Mukuta Shobha Tobara Yunjuntino Pure Charani Gagaria Jai Deva Jai Mangala Murti Darshan Matre Manaka Mana Purti Jai Deva Jai Mangala Murti Darshan Matre Manaka Mana Purti
Jai Shri Mataji. Good morning, everyone. Let's all bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini and put Bandhan. we'll take Shri Ganesh Mantra.
त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीगणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवे नमो नमः.
Let's keep our right hand on Mother Earth and left hand on the lap towards Shri Mataji. Shri Mataji, please bless us with the qualities of Shri Ganesha. And remove all the imbalances from our left channel. Shri Mataji, please clean and purify our Ida Nadi. Let's bring our right hand on the lap and left hand towards the sky. Shri Mataji, you are Shri Hanumana. Kindly bless us with the qualities of Shri Hanumana. Shri Mataji, please remove all the imbalances from our right channel. Shri Mataji, please clean and purify our Pingla Nadi. We'll now bring both our hands at the level of our heart. Shrimataji, kindly establish us in the state of balance. Shrimataji, please purify and enlighten our Sushumna Nadi. We'll bring our hands back on the lap. Let's bring our attention on top of our Sahasrara. Shrimataji, kindly allow us to feel your lotus feet on our Sahasrara. In this meditative state, we will now hear Srimataji's speech.
I think it was very nice that I could come to New Zealand. You should not feel depressed or unhappy that the program started with a big bang and then it subsided and it's coming up and all that. This is a common thing because it is a living process. In every living process, the thing starts with a very small thing and then it grows according to the weight that one can bear. You see the little tree, or when it was just a sapling, it had to fight a lot to come up. And when it came up, then also it would not bear fruits. It would only bear 2 leaves, you see, to open out, because the stalk was not so powerful to hold the whole thing. So when your Sahajogis will be more and ready, then you will get more people and more people. But one should not expect too much of quantity. What we need is quality. If we try for quantity, then there would be a problem. Because quantity, the quality will go down. So in the beginning, when it is the foundation, it is very important to have good quality. As you see in a house, in the foundation we always put very heavy stones which can bear the whole structure. In the same way, in the beginning of Sahaja Yoga, we have to put very solid people to work it out. Unless and until they are of a very solid nature, they are thrown out. That's why Christ has said first would be the last. Because so many people come for the first time and may just get lost because they are no good. They have to bear the structure. They cannot be ordinary Sahajogis. Now we have many qualities to make it really very, very strong, and also to make it bearing. First of all, a Sahajogi which is in the foundation doesn't show up. He bears, he holds. He's actually the Adhar, as they say, the support, the complete support of Sahaja Yoga in a country. So the first few you come to the Sahaja Yoga are very, very important people. And intensive work has to be done on them, and they have to work out also intensively. Because the first ones, if they are weak, the whole thing topples down. So by some mistake, you see, some weak persons may join you, then the whole thing will topple down. Again you will have to raise it. It's like another resurrection. Then again you have to see that you don't have weak people there. Then you have to build them up in such a manner that they grow properly to the size that can bear the whole structure. Later on, of course, you'll be surprised the structure grows very fast. Like in Australia, we started in a very, very poor way to begin with. And the people who really started are out of Sahaja, absolutely out. And the rest of them, out of them also, those who were really solid people could form the foundation of Sahaja. So one has to be careful as to understand that what we need now is quality, not the quantity. If you have too many people around your heads, you won't be able to manage them at all. But if you have few good people, you should be thankful. That's why if there is no publicity that has come, or there are small number of people, you should be very satisfied. Not to feel sad about it. Let's see, now Sahaja Yoga is not spreading. It's not the spreading that is important now. It's the deeper embodiment that is important. And for that, we need really solid people for Sahaja Yoga. So you are the first few people here who are going to form the foundation of New Zealand's Sahaja Yoga. Maybe one day it might be a very, very big structure, doesn't matter. Maybe you might be taking a role of a foundation which doesn't show off, but your names will be written in golden letters that such people started Sahaja Yoga. Because it's a big struggle in the beginning to implement Sahaja Yoga. Now I've seen that people who are false spread very fast. Very fast. You'll hear their names everywhere. Suddenly you see it's all going everywhere, and you will be surprised that they are in the market already. The reason is that it's not a living process. It's just plastics. Plastic flower you can produce in one day, thousands. But to produce one flower on a tree, first flower is so difficult. Then few flowers, then the blossom time comes. It's not that suddenly you get many flowers. So one has to understand that in the beginning of anything, there are difficulties and there are problems. Funny people will come in, they'll start doubting, they'll go out, then some more will come, they will get into it, they will do this and they'll get out. So there are two forces always working in Sahaja Yoga. One is the centripetal, another is the centrifugal. By one force, people are attracted towards Sahaja Yoga because they know it's the truth and this is the end of their seeking, and this they have to have because they find out through their pure intelligence that this is the way. Now, there are people who just try to test, like guru shopping, see. So they think, let us go, this shop is, don't charge you anything, let's get in here. But they are the people who just do not stick on sometimes. Or they have too many problems from other gurus, maybe. Or maybe they may stick on. And some of them who stick on very well. So we cannot say what immediately will happen. In a living process, you can't say this tree, which side it will take, whether it will go straight or on the sides or it will move the other way. So we cannot say that way. But we can say one thing, that at least from my experience, I feel that in the beginning, whatever starts in a small way, in a struggling way, really is embedding itself nicely into the Mother Earth. And it's a very good sign, because that's the way it always works out better. Whatever is frivolous or whatever is cheapish or which spreads out without much difficulties is of no use. It's like grass, anybody can take it away. So the embodiment and all that has to go inside, as you are shaking it nicely to go inside. And that's what it is, where you should be very happy that it is working out that way. Somebody has come? Let him come. Come along. So the beginning of Sahaja Yoga may look to be little shaky, may look to be little feeble, but it is not. It is getting stronger and stronger. And it is getting embedded into the Mother Earth. And that is what is the test of you being the real seekers. You being the people who want truth, who do not want a big show, big sort of a community sitting there all going mad with some sort of a shouting, screaming and nonsense. As it is, Sahaja Yoga is a living process, and it grows both ways, upwards and downwards. In the beginning, it grows more downwards, and in the downward process, we have to depend on our vibrations very much. We must all the time remember that we are realized souls, that we have got vibrations. This is the way we have to judge. This is the way we have to understand. The vibration is the only way that we know others, not by something you will feel that a person looks very sweet and nice, and may a snake come out of that person. So best is to judge a person through vibration. Judge everything through vibrations, not through your own understanding or superficial methods of judging others. Now, there are also so many conditionings we have got by which we judge others. And these conditionings can also bias our judgment. So, best way is to see the vibrations. Through vibrations, you will have the real knowledge about what is happening. Now, many people in the beginning also start misguiding. So, best is to develop your vibrations. For that, you have to grow inward first of all. If you grow inward deeply, then what will happen? That outward growth will be very solid and would be exact. You won't have any problems with that. But if you do not grow inward, if you do not meditate and pay attention to it, and I would say it is more the dedication that you have that works out so well that you grow upward so well. I mean, you can give a speech whenever you want about Sahaja Yoga, you can give realization to people whenever you want, you can cure people whenever you want. But first, there should be a depth in you. If that you have not achieved, you just start superficially doing something, then maybe you are hit, or maybe you are in trouble, or maybe you may start doubting yourself, maybe Sahaja Yoga too. So the first thing is for us to grow deeply. And while we are growing deeply, we have to also grow in such a manner that we understand our vibrations clearly. Now see, a root of a little plant has got a very small little cell at the base of it. And the plant doesn't know anything as much as that little cell knows, because it is going inside by its own intelligence, its own vibrations. Now, if it finds a stone, it doesn't go and quarrel. So don't fight with the people who are stonies. Just don't argue with them. You cannot make them understand. It's not possible. They have to be seekers and soft, like the soft clay, you can say, through which this little cell goes, penetrates. Then it finds, supposing it finds a big stone. Then what? It goes round and round and round. So gives it a bandhan nicely and goes down. Later on, when it becomes a tree, he uses this stone for its, you see, for its support. So in the same way, you can go round and round and round, somebody like that, but giving just bandhan without saying anything in your heart, not saying, arguing with him anything, because you will break your head, but he will never be all right. So best is not to argue with him, but just give him bandhan in your heart and somehow bind it, so that later on, you see, he will become Sahaja Yogi, but will be a big support to us, because it's such a stone. See, just now, you soft people, people who are easy people, people who are seekers, who are not so complicated. And you cannot argue it out. Sahaja Yoga cannot be argued out, cannot be explained to. Only thing you have to get it. And if they don't get it, you cannot argue it out. Oh, this is this, this is this. Like one reporter was asking me, why is it I'm not getting realization? I couldn't tell him that he was such an egoist. I couldn't tell him that. So I said, maybe this, maybe that. Which I was avoiding the topic. There's no use telling him you are a big egoist. How can you get your realization? Because if I tell him like that, then he would be just off absolutely, and he would be against Sahaja Yoga completely. So we have to use also tactfully a method by which we do not hurt others, but try to be nice and gentle, so they like at least your outer appearance, that they are very gentle people, they are very good people and all that. Now, in Sahaja Yoga also there's a temptation you might have, because you suddenly get a lot of money sometimes, suddenly get a big position, suddenly also you might get a very rare, dynamic gifts, like you can become a great artist, you can become a great poet, you might, something might happen to you suddenly. You get a public speaking gifts or anything like that. But these are all temptations, and one should not fall into it. Of course, you must use them for Sahaja Yoga, is all right. but you should not fall into it and start thinking I'm something great. If that is done, then there's a big problem, because such a thing gets a person completely out of Sahaja Yoga, and he gets also punished in a way. Maybe he loses his powers. So it's best is to keep to your Sahaja Yoga meditation, keep to your own understanding, know yourself, that is the best way, and not to be diverted by all these temptations. But the same can be used for Sahaja Yoga. If that is used for Sahaja Yoga, there is nothing wrong, because these gifts are given to you not to tempt you, but for using for Sahaja Yoga. For example, she got my photograph with the light on my head. That means there's something happened between her and the light. Because how did I get that light upon my head is a problem. To be understood very simply, that the Vishnu Maya is the goddess for light, for electricity. And if she wants, she can turn it into any angle and can put a subtle meaning to her photograph. Now, people have taken photographs of the clouds and they found me there, absolutely there. People believe it or not, but it is so. 2 photographs they saw like that. And normally we don't take photographs of the clouds, but it showed in such a way that they first saw a very luminous cluster of a cloud, and then it expanded and started looking like a Ganesha. So their attention was attracted. Then strings of lights started flowing on both the sides, and they formed 2 clusters. So they took photos of these 2 clusters, and when they developed it, they found my photographs. 2 photographs of mine were there. One was even with the nose thing when I was wearing it. It's very latest ones. And another one where I look more like a red Indian face. You see, that kind, coming out of the thing. Clearly, very clearly you can see. So that's how they have taken it. It's in the Bible that you will know the Holy Ghost with the forms of the clouds. It's written down. So this is how it is verified. But how many people are going to believe it? Very few. Very few people are going to believe that this is natural. They'll think, oh, it's all made up and done up and all that. Because even if the nose ring is showing, it's too much. Now, this Vishnu Maya works that way. There are so many other deities who work out something in a different way. But whatever it is, they are all for your construction, for your building up as a good Sahaja. So the inner movement is very important in Sahaja Yoga. I'm very happy to know that you people are gathering here for meditation and you are listening to my tapes and are growing up well. And I was very happy to see the way you are growing. And keep your steady growth. Then you'll become great Sahaja Yogis. I'm sure one day New Zealand or Australia may become the leader of all the world to follow spirituality. Because India is, of course, I must say, India is spiritually very developed, but they are not leaders, I think. So far, I have not seen much leaders coming out of India. But once the leaders start coming out of India, we can say that then the second position should be given to Australia and New Zealand. There will be great people coming out of Australia and New Zealand, no doubt about it. Because the root part may be in India, the foundation part may be from India, but the tree part will be from the West. And that is how the East and West is going to complete the tree of Sahaja Yoga, blossoming and giving fruits. May God bless you all.
we'll take the three Maha Mantras.
त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
We thank you, Shri Mataji, for this beautiful collective morning meditation. Let's all bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini and put Bandhan. We wish everyone a happy and auspicious Shri Ganesh Chaturthi. Jai Shri Mataji.
Om Shri